We agreed on terms, and it was fine enough for what it was, and I didn't. But then on the actual final, like, day, they try to like cut the upfront payment in half at the table, and it was me, my golden retriever buddy, and those two guys. And they were like, well, we've done a reassessment of all the bullshit, and for this reason. And I'm just like, then no deal. Like, we've got to this point, like, really? Over the dollar amount was, it wasn't insignificant. But it was just like, over that, that's what you're going to do right now?
What was their justification?
Just, they knew they had more leverage, and basically, like, the disarray that, we've talked about for the last, 45 minutes or whatever. But what I did know here was the leverage that I did know I have, which is why I put my foot in the ground, is I know they had never bought a company before. So I also knew that they kind of like didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing either, but I'm good at spotting when somebody else doesn't know what they're doing. So what they had done, and I was hoping they were going to do this, because of course, until a deal is done, it's not done. No matter what anybody says, it's not done until the money's wired and the contract's signed and the shit's transferred. What they had done, which I thought was beautiful along the way, and I just let it happen because I knew that was the only leverage that I had, was very early in the process, they started integrating their whole team with my whole team. Really early in the process. And they had like weekly meetings and like all this stuff for like a month and a half. And like even more than that. And so now I'm like, if they don't do this deal, like they're the guys who are about to go in and buy a company, and their whole company's like, yay, we're going to go buy a company. And like everybody's on board and excited about it and all this stuff. And so they had like really integrated with our team, and our team was really excited about it, and they got along real well and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, great. Well, now if you don't do a deal for this little dumb thing at the end, you got to go back to your team and explain to them why all this shit that you just promised them for the last 2 months isn't going to happen anymore, and your whole team's morale is going to go down into the toilet. So I didn't say this, of course, but I know that that's the scenario. So I'm just like, no, absolutely not. That's not what's about to happen. I'm out. And then like there was literally just silence, and I just shut the hell up. And probably about a minute went by, and my golden retriever buddy was like, okay, well, I don't know that we like necessarily got to this point to like not have a deal done. Like, so what do we need to do? He just comes in as the good cop, and so they're like, okay. And I'm just like, look, we agreed on these terms. We're doing these terms. Let's just get, what do we need? Spend another week and a half talking about this amount of money? What are you doing? Just, no, go build what you're going to build and stop trying to nickel and dime me.